When I got in college, somebody said, so what was it like growing up with 2 Down syndrome brothers and sisters? And I went, I don't know. What does anybody else do? I was almost 4 when David was born. Kathy was 2 years older than David. David and Kathy had their own quirks about how to cause trouble, but put them together, look out. David put Kathy in the dryer and turned it on. One morning, we were wondering what the noise was in the kitchen because there was this funny noise you could hear something walking, but it wasn't, people. It was like, what's going on? They had brought the pony inside. David was such a pistol.
Hanging out with David just puts eyes in the back of your head.
He always could get one over on me. He would do something and I would say, David, don't do that. And he'd look at me and say, well, I just did.
It stemmed from Allison, Dick, and Sue teaching him, I don't care about that extra chromosome. I don't care what other people tell you. You can do whatever you want.
When David was in his heyday, he was doing everything independently. Everything. When he was a teenager, he had a lawn mowing business. And then he worked all kinds of places. Hardee's, Ponderosa Steakhouse, Kroger's, and had his own apartment. David lived at Ladd from 18 years on.
I knew David a long time. 1990 only to this year. And he's my buddy. I mean, everybody's buddy.
David was a lover. He loved people well, took care of them. I don't think I ever saw David struggle until he got Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is mean. It's the very, very long goodbye. David had it longer than anybody in our family. He had it 10 years or more.
Sue never accepted mediocre for any stage of David's life. David excelled even while he was declining.
In the last 8 months of his life, it was fun to see what music did for him. We just played the Monkees music at our table, and he would start dancing, doing this. People were like, really? Well, they don't have any music on in here this morning, so we're going to play our music. They got over it. It was fun.
Seeing Sue's family and friends come around and just pray with David and sing him songs, and people giving up all of their time to just make sure he wasn't alone will be something I'll never forget, and it's definitely changed me.
I had what I consider a huge honor of sitting with him for a period of time during the process that he was dying. And I got to sit and hold his hand for a while and just talk with him. And he, at one point, opened his eyes, looked at me and said, Cindy.
Someone told me David died, but he's still my buddy. That name isn't going to change.
The thing I struggle with is I worry that I won't meet someone that weird or interesting.
I mean, he had some of the most supportive family that I've ever worked with. They cared about him so strongly, but they wanted to see him excel, and they gave him space to do so.
Having so much encouragement and support from David's sister and his family was what made it just a complete team.
It takes courage these days to get up in the morning, to me. I mean, it just does. But just don't be afraid to be there for your family, whatever your family may be.
If more families were like David's family, they would always know they were loved. And that is not something that everyone has.